Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 27. From lecture number 26, we have started discussing about tourist behavior. Today we will continue that. Today in tourist behavior, we will study about buyer's thought process. So if you remember in the previous lecture, I told you about a typical model of tourist behavior. In this tourist behavior, there were three segments. First was market stimuli, second was buyer's thought process, and third was buyer's responses. Market stimuli I have already discussed with you in previous lectures, okay? Both marketing mix as well as tourism business environment. Now from last lecture, we have started discussing about the buyer's thought process. In buyer's thought process, we were discussing personal characteristics of the buyer, in which we have already discussed about the cultural factors. In this lecture, we will discuss about social factors and personal factors. In the next lecture, we will continue with the psychological factors. So to start with the social factors, social factors include all those online and real life social groups in which a tourist interacts. Social factors also include family, friends, society clubs, etc. Today we will discuss about some of these groups in detail. So to start with, first is membership groups. Membership groups are those groups which directly influence a person's buyer behavior. So they have a direct impact on a person's buying behavior. Why this direct impact? Because this tourist or the person who is the decision maker is actually a member of this group itself. He is not following this group. He himself is a member of this group. So that is why his buying behavior directly gets influenced by the members of these group or these groups, membership groups themselves. So there are some social clubs like Rotary Club is there, Lions Club is there. All these are these membership group. If a person is a part of these group, he gets influenced by what other members of that particular group have been purchasing, doing, liking, giving feedback, providing information, providing contact. So he himself is a part of that group. So influence on his decision of these membership groups are generally higher. Next is reference group. In case of reference groups, the term reference was coined by Herbert Hyman. And he coined this term in 1942. Now, let me tell you one thing. As per different subject domains, you will find names of different social scientists and researchers who have actually coined this word reference. But we in social sciences generally follow theories of psychology. So, in theories of psychology, Herbert Hyman has been supposed to be the person or the father of the reference word. Okay. So, here we will, take him as the one who has coined this term in 1942. Now, these groups influence the behavior, beliefs, opinion. Sorry, this is P. I'm rewriting. Opinion and attitudes. Okay. So they actually affect the person's behavior, beliefs, opinion and attitude of those who follow them. In membership group, the person is a member. Reference group are those group which actually are followed by these people. Okay. The members of these group are considered to be role model, experienced and role model. So the influence is considerable. Okay. Then these groups are important in tourism as they interpret the information. What is their role? They provide the interpretation of the information. In terms of laws, in terms of visa process, in terms of what is required, do's and don'ts, what is the significance of doing those things or not doing those things, or maybe in terms of activities and other things. So this interpretation, it is not just about telling, like, as a flat face that this is what is there. No, what is the meaning of that that information? That interpretation has been done by the members of reference groups, and they help in making the perspective of the customers, and they also help in making a purchase decision. The groups are considered to be expert and experienced, and they are highly credible. Okay, and the information provided by them is considered to be reliable. Okay, why? Because these are experienced, these are considered to be expert, they interpret the information. So that way the information which has been provided by these people, whatever they say, the reliability of that information is higher, and credibility of these reference groups is a considerable higher. So they also influence the decision of a person. Okay, and this is very reliable information. Now, few examples of reference groups on which a tourist really rely on are family groups, friend circle, family with parents, then siblings, and all who are actually in close relationship. So when we take reference group, we need to understand here that these reference groups are not just about some kind of professional circles. No, these are those people who are close to the person who is the decision maker, or maybe one of the decision maker, and these are those people who are considered to be a good source of information and a reliable source of information. So that's how these reference groups affect the decision making of the person. Now next is family. Now we can easily understand that to what extent the destination choice may get affected by children in the group if the family is going on summer vacation. During summer vacation, where to go, what to do, for how many nights to stay there, during what time. I mean, summer vacation is not just 1 week phenomena or a shorter duration, it's a longer duration. So during which time to go, all these things, if it is about planning or making a decision where to go and what to do kind of questions, then children have a pretty significant say in the while decision maker, or maybe influencing the decision maker by either making the decision maker or the father or mother happy, or actually snatching their sleep. So that's how family makes an impact. Now with more and more women working and earning a financial strength for themselves and their family, they are getting a more say in the family buying decisions, including tourism. So one aspect was children. Children may not have a very significant say for other kind of vacations, but when it comes to tourism, yes, children do have. And next is women. Since women has started working, she is making money for herself as well as bringing money for the family also. So she has got now more say in giving at least options, or maybe the decision maker herself. Okay. Children are also a big influencer in deciding where to eat and what to eat. So in case of restaurant and hospitality services, also they have a significant say. Hence restaurants frequently make changes in their interiors and menu to attract more kids. Especially it is very important for F&B services, because when it comes to eating out, usually, I mean, these are the children who press their parents to, blackmail to certain extent their parents to go out and eat. Okay. So here also children have a very important say, and all these restaurants, they try to attract their children by providing them freebies, tokens, interior coming out with club kind of a thing, wherein they make they provide you some kind of cards. So if you are having one child is having one card, and in his group itself in the school other children have 2 3 cards, so maybe after making a set of 10 12 20, depending on what kind of a game do they want to introduce into the market, they can make a group which can sit together and play with those cards. So that's how F&B services do different kind of marketing gimmicks to attract children, and then because of these gimmicks children get attracted, and then they press their parents to go and eat out there. And it is a very interesting phenomena, because we need to understand here that children are usually not adult. Children are not earning, and children listen to parents, or at least must listen to their parents regarding any of the important decision. But when it comes to taking a decision about F&B, I mean, yeah, they have a significant authority on deciding in deciding where to go for eating out. So that's how actually it's not about who is sponsoring that particular group, who is the eldest in the family, or who is the bread earner. It's like a diffusion of some kind of not authority, but yes, who can provide the kind of information which is needed, because when children they go to school and they discuss this thing with their peer group friends, and the kind of information which they provide, yeah, the restaurant is very good, they have this kind of a game over there, you can do this kind of activity inside itself. McDonald's has been attracting a lot of children by using these kind of marketing tactics. So that's how actually these F&B services provider are playing with the mind of these young kids. Okay, another example for this is that most of the Chinese couples, they have only one child, so they pamper their child a lot, because they are either working couples, two people working in the family, or they have just one child, and as a result of which the purchasing power of Chinese children in general is very good. And this is very interesting to know that F&B services provider from around the world are actually trying to attract Chinese children the most. Because being a single child, and so many times double earning family, and with just one child, he has a very good purchasing power. So F&B services provider, they are trying to attract. Okay, now next is roles and responsibilities. Now role means the place that a person occupies in a group. So what is the place? Okay, for example, when he is a son, or he is a brother, or he is a husband. Okay, so these are different kind of roles which, or maybe wife, sister. So these are different roles which a person actually can occupy in a group. So the type of tour purchase, or organizing an event which this same person will do while doing it for his parents, or his wife, or for his children, or for his charity group, will be very different. So if he is a son and organizing for his parents, it will be little different. If he is a brother doing it for sister, it will be different. If he is a husband doing it for wife, it will be different. If he is a father doing it for his own children, like birthday party, or maybe party of getting selected into some competition, that will be different. Similarly, if he is just a member of a charitable group, okay, and he is organizing an event for this charity group, that will also be different. So when we talk about he is a son, he will be lesser price conscious. He is a brother, lesser. But husband without a child, organizing for wife, the timings will be different, the type of restaurant will be different, menu will be very different. This menu cannot be the same which he has provided to his parents. Okay. Similarly, when he is doing for charity institution, he is organizing a gathering. So here his set of mind is very, his set of thought will be very different. So what he'll do? He'll be highly price inelastic, means price conscious. So here he will be taking care a lot about those type, like when he taking care a lot about being minimizing his expenditure. When he is a son, he might have selected those items in the menu which were more healthy, while when he became actually a father, he might have been interesting in providing those meals to the kids which are new to the menu, those which have just been introduced into that market. Like you talk about some red velvet cake. Red velvet cake is very new into Indian market, some maybe 10 years back or something, so that's a very new thing into the market. Or paper printing on the cake. So this is also a very new thing. So these are like new things into intermarket. So if he is like an Indian father, he will be giving these kind of things. But if he is doing it as a son, so he will be very much health conscious, taking care whether blood pressure, diabetes, or maybe other health problems which are generally there in his parents. So that's how his roles and responsibilities. A similar thing will be there in case of tour also. For for his parents, it will be a very much health conscious tour, slow pace tour, lesser pollution. When it comes to his children, it will be more about security, taking care of very strictly, in fact taking care of which kind of activities must not be included. Okay, where are they going? Okay, while in case of if he's a brother or if he's a sister, maybe if he's a brother or she's a sister, they can simply go ahead with some kind of adventure tour activity, and this brother or sister will not mind much about to be on a very tight schedule, to be on a very not tight schedule, but exactly very much pre-planned kind of a trip. It can be a little bit, there can be a little bit leniency in terms of itinerary also, because in case of this brother and sister, they are young. So even if there is little bit space which is left in itinerary, so the person can actually go ahead with that. The person can cope up on the basis of his own confidence and physical strength and knowledge and use of internet and other things. So that's how actually the same person, when he plays the role of a son, daughter, brother, sister, husband, wife, or maybe a charity group, so or maybe a parent, will impact a lot on his decision making. So he may be more price sensitive while organizing it for the charity group. So these all things which I have told you, these will decide his behavior. Now next is online social communities. People socialize and do friendship at online platform, and remember, we do even friendship with those people whom we have even never met in our life and never intend to meet also in our life. And since people are not physically present at these platforms, so they give their opinions very openly here. Okay, we all know this thing, that when we are sitting in front of a person who knows us very well, then we feel a little conscious while giving our opinion, thinking that that person is not getting offended or not feeling bad. So but this kind of anxiety is not there when the person is giving his opinion in front of a social platform, because he's physically not present over there. So that way they are more vocal and of course more honest also in giving their opinions. Okay, so at online social platform, one can collect a lot of information, opinions and feedback of any destination, company, tour, brand, etc. Okay, so these opinions are comparatively honest, more verbal or textual, or sometime even in the form of images or pictures. Something is good, you will find a picture of it. Something is bad, you will not find anything written or maybe verbal about that, but you can simply find a picture of that bad scenery, pollution, bad event happening over there, some kind of accident, indiscipline by the local people, some kind of ruthless behavior, video on that. So these kind of things you will find more openly on the online platforms. Now, some of the websites like Pinterest is there. Pinterest is very good in providing images. Then Insta is also very good in providing Instagram is very good for providing a small few seconds video and images. And then you talk about YouTube. YouTube is a very serious platform. YouTube provides big, a collection of audio-visual media, providing very much in-depth knowledge. So YouTube is also a very reliable and very, serious kind of a platform. The next is Facebook. yeah, kind of YouTube, but it has a little difference that YouTube is more about audio-visual, while Facebook will give equal weightage to audio-visual and textual, and sometimes more of textual supplemented by one or two images. Okay, so that's how Facebook is different. Quora is more about textual form, but if a person or a tourist follows the right groups on Quora, then Quora provides a very reliable information and very in-depth information, because but then the person needs to know what kind of channel or groups is that person is actually following. So that's how Quora has like a good range, but then you have to select as per your choice which group is going to be, or which author is going to be more reliable and credible. Okay, now these are some good sources to collect preliminary information about the product. So it's good that these all platforms are considered to be only for collecting preliminary information, and not when the person is already collected the information and then come and verify. No, collect the information through these sources and then contact the supplier and then verify the information. That's the right, flow of activities. Now, Pinterest, Facebook and Insta are good platform for sharing some pictures. I have already told you about these things. Okay. Now, beside live videos may also be shared on some of these platforms, like, it can be on YouTube, it can be on Facebook. Facebook Live is very famous. Okay. So, this will give a real life image. I mean, the credibility of such an image, information and commentary, or maybe textual backup is considered to be a very reliable source of information, because it's something which is happening right there itself in the real time, and it's there online also. Okay, so that's how. So blogging and vlogging are also newly emerged sources. Creating blogs or maybe vlog, so video blogs. Okay, these are emerged as sources of providing information in textual and audiovisual format. So blog is textual with maybe just one or two small pictures or images, and vlog with audiovisual media, that is that is videos. Okay, so with this we have completed social factors. Now let us start a study about personal factors. So buyer's decisions are to a great extent influenced by his own personal characteristics. These personal characteristics may be his age, his life cycle stage, his occupation, general economic conditions which are there in the environment, lifestyle, and then personality and self-concept. We will study about all of them one by one. So first of all, start with the age. People show different preferences during different stages of their life. They do different kind of leisure activities also. They also eat different food during different age. Now visit different destinations. Even mode of transportation which they use to travel also changes with time. So what do they eat, where they travel means the destination, mode of transport, where do they stay. These things directly get affected by a person's age. As a person grows in age, his requirement to have comfort, comfortable visibility and better accessibility to the facilities, these all things become more and more important. Now this requires availability of database of this population, means this kind of population which the company wants to target. Okay, and then devising a product and marketing strategies as per the need of this segment. So all these different age group have different kind of requirement, and if the company wants to do the segmentation on the basis of age, then company needs to have a database of the people and their profile for that particular age segment, and then they need to devise the product accordingly as per their needs and choices, and then after that needs to plan a strategy to approach them to sell their product. So that's how different age group make an impact. Now next is life cycle stage. A single person and coupled without children have fewer responsibility, so can spend more on tourism, dining out and entertainment. As the number of members in the family grow, so do the final responsibilities of this person, and his capacity to spend on any leisure product becomes limited. And we have to remember here that tourism industry products are of course leisure products. So here the lifestyle, life cycle stage plays a very important role. And let me tell you one thing, when we are talking about life cycle stage, we are not talking about the marital status of this family. That is why I have purposely not used this word single or married. Nowadays in India, legally, even live-in relationships are also legal. So we being into business have to be very clear about this thing, that it is about single and couple and not about married, unmarried, divorcee, never married, or single, these kind of thing. I mean, these kind of personal status of a person has got nothing to do with us. We are only about requirement of couple, maybe live-in couple, maybe married couple, maybe engaged couple going to get married. That is none of our business. It's just couple, including couples of same genders too. Okay, so these are those things which we have to be very sensitive if we really want to reach our segment efficiently. Our personal thought process, beliefs have to be completely discrete from our professional decisions. And that's how only we can, cater to the market efficiently. So next is occupation. In occupation, somewhere, occupation somewhere impacts on the thinking of a person. So it also plays its role when a person decides to purchase a tourist product. For example, doctors and IT professionals having a higher purchasing power generally go for high-end expensive products, and of course their job security is also higher. So they have higher income, better job security, as a result of which most of their purchases are in the high-end price product. And then gym instructors and sports person don't prefer a food during the trip which is high on fat, carbohydrate. Instead of that, they prefer a food which is high on protein. So that's how we need to remember that the occupation of a person, his financial stability, his job security and chances of earning a similar or at least higher salary in the future makes an impact on the kind of choices which he makes for purchasing the product. Now, next is economic situation or general economic conditions. Sorry, this protein which I have written over here has to be of occupation and not in general economic condition. General economic condition we will do now. Okay. Now, customers tend to spend more when they have a stable income and also expect a growing income in the future. This is possible if the economy is growing and businesses in general are doing well. Now, if customers get any indication of any downfall in the economy, which they can easily pick up from the discussions being done with their higher officials, peer group, friends, etc. So, then they restrict their expenditures also. Now, tourism being a leisure industry is anyways the last choice of the person to spend on it, until and unless the person is not actually a very avid traveler. So if the person is a very avid traveler, then it's a different thing, it becomes an exception kind of a thing. Otherwise, when we talk about in general, if the business is growing, economy is going, people are spending more, and vice versa. If it is going down, lesser. Okay, that's how things happen. Now, until unless person is not an avid traveler, then only he goes more. And then, so in general, customers cut their expenditures during their trip, frequency of dining out, expenditure per dining out, and the likewise. So now, if it goes down, that's how they behave. If it goes up, they spend more also, and they spend more frequently also. And just the vice versa is in case of when the economy is going down. So marketers, they keep a tab on the economic condition and the income and the trade patterns which are generally happening, not in tourism industry, but in the businesses and economy in general. Now, if they see any indication of recession or downfall in businesses due to natural disaster or financial crisis or political unrest, then they also need to take defensive measures. And what can be these defensive measures? Lesser price. Okay, lesser duration tours, that is number of nights. From maybe 5-star, you can go to 3-star, 2-star, okay, for coming up with a product which is more economical. And then maybe, instead of including 2 to 3 destination in a per tour, it can be a single destination tour. Okay, these are few of the measures which companies do, initial measures. But even if after taking these measures, the company has not been able to cope up with the downfall in the business, they may even go by cutting on their profit percentage. Okay, but this is the last choice. This must be the in fact last choice. First they should try to do all these activities. When these are not found to be conducive, only then they should go for cutting for profit percentage. Okay. Now, let me give you, a very famous example of this. During the recession of 2008, we all remember, how difficult time it was. So, during this, what happened? The sale of the company was going down. So, there is a company, very famous company, I don't want to take the name of that company. What did they do? They came out with single destination packages. 2 night, 3 days, Thailand. 2 night, 3 days, Malaysia. From India to these destinations. Not Australia, not Hong Kong, not China, not any country in Europe, not the USA. Okay. Why? Because if you talk about Thailand, if you talk about Malaysia, these are close by destinations. So the total travel time is lesser. So even if the tourist is going for 2 nights and 3 days, it becomes sufficient. Besides this, being a close by destination, traveling to these places is lesser expensive. So that way they can cut down on the price of the tour. Okay. Then they used only 2-star to 2-star deluxe properties. There were very few 3-star properties, only if in case 2-star deluxe or 2-star properties were not available. Then they used to give just one, half day means 4 hours, half day city tour. And rest of the time, you reach one day, you stay there first night, second day you take half day city tour, evening you are free, then in the night you are there, overnight stay there only, third day, half day you are there, and then you come back. So that's how they have given you a lot of free time. Now, if a company provides free time, means company is not spending on a lot of resources like arranging tickets, tour manager, guides, coaches and other things, So that's how company was cutting on the inclusions, giving more, and then they added optional tours. Okay. So if anyone who has money and wants to go for optional tour, they can purchase it with an extra price, and then they can make the use of same 2 night 3 days. But for those people who do not want to spend that much but still are looking for a vacation abroad, they can go ahead. Then first, this is the first thing which they made in the product. Then they made the next change, which was in prices. In prices, I'm telling you, this is how companies do changes in their entire marketing mix. So first, product, they make these changes. Then in case of prices, they come down with the very economical prices, and they were able to do so just because they included those kind of components which were very economical. And then after that, the initial amount which was for registration was a very nominal. It was approximately, I think, 1/5 or 1/6 of the general registration amount which was being charged by that company and other companies also during that time. So by that time, the money which the person was blocking for making a registration, that was very nominal. So that way, the financial liability on the customer was lesser. So product, they made changes, price, they make changes, place, it was distributed around India at a very, with every possible, sales outlet. So it was it was present around India in abundance. Okay, and then what did they do? They came out with a promotion. They didn't, and it was a very innovative thing in Indian market. So they didn't release this information. It was kind of a very confidential information. And then just one day before, the entire sales team was asked to go to the nearest regional office or area office, whichever was the largest office possible. They were provided training, and the next day it was launched, and the launch time was on Thursday. Why? Because Thursday you are launching, providing information to the tourist, and then after that the tourist, or maybe the probable tourist, is reading about it, collecting information about it, checking out with what kind of options which were available to him. And then they came out with a sales promotion that even if the prices are very less, or in registration amount was very less, is still, if you book at in within these 3 days, that is Friday, Saturday and Sunday, those 3 days, that weekend during which it was launched, then in that condition there was further early bird offer. So all the P's were aligned in such a way of marketing mix, wherein actually during the recession of 2008 also, this product, and just one product, it was not a range of product, no, just one product, single destination. They came out with Thailand. When Thailand was completely sold out, then they started with Malaysia. They didn't go with this kind of a product with Singapore and Hong Kong. Reason being, Singapore and Hong Kong is an expensive destination. Both of these destinations are expensive destinations. So they started with the most economical, that was Thailand. Visa on arrival allowed, no formality needed. Okay. So that way, they are by making these changes, these modifications in their marketing mix, even if it was a recession of 2008, the product was completely sold out. And they had to arrange additional unit of that product by making new contracts and signing new MOUs, and they came out with that also, and those were also sold out. And let me tell you, I do not have so much of time in this lecture. Otherwise I would have narrated you this entire story, how step by step market responded, competition responded, and it's a very interesting story. People who have worked with industry will tell you about it if they remember it. So that's how actually, general economic conditions play a very important role, and marketers respond to these general economic conditions. Had it been a normal scenario, there is no need to come out with a product. Come out with a product of Europe of, 49, 69, 4-star deluxe to 5-star property. Why, when people are having money to spend, then why not give an opportunity to, visit abroad and get pampered like kings? Okay. So that's how actually general economic conditions play a role. Now next is lifestyle. Lifestyle includes a person's activities, interest, opinion, and all other ways in which he interacts and responds to his immediate environment. This includes every aspect of that person as a whole. The lifestyle of a person impacts the type of product which he purchases. People who generally do not seek support from travel management company to make travel arrangement are more confident. These are those people who are not looking out for the marketers who are actually sitting here and studying this subject. So they do not need them. They are more confident, they are independent and better acquainted with technology. Now GIT buyers, they generally look for a relaxing package and also no hassle package for arranging a tour. Now, companies want to align their products as per the lifestyle attributes of achievers. Now, how will you identify who is an achiever? Achievers have certain common characteristics. Now, achievers can be identified by their common characteristics like successful, work-oriented, politically conservative, and respect the authority and status quo also. Okay. Now, these types of clients generally favor established products to show off their status. So, they look for established product. So, if you are not an established company and entering new in the market, please do not target them. Target more of those people who are maybe good, that is how only they are going on tourism, but not a very established and highly successful in the market. Only then you will be able to cater to them. Okay, and once you have achieved, yourself have achieved that place in the market, then these established and successful people and achievers can identify themselves with your company and your product, and now is the time for you to target them. Okay, now next is personality and self concept. Personality constitutes of psychological thinking of a person, which defines the way in which he gives enduring responses to the environment. Now, these responses are persistent. Personality traits help in analysis of a tourist behavior. Now, for example, the tourists who go on bike tours, they are generally aggressive and yes, health conscious also. Now, as personality, self-concept is also another important concept. Self-concept is that image which a person perceives of himself. Okay. If a person perceives himself as outgoing and active, then he might prefer a vacation in which he will do some kind of physical activities, like he might go for trekking, he might go for diving, he might go for cycling, and he will not go for a sitting kind of a tour where he's sitting on the beach and enjoying sunlight and having a drink in his hand. No, this is not the kind of person. Okay. Now people who go on yachts and those who go on surfing might have different self-image about themselves. Yacht may be more about, lesser activities, leisure, while the person who goes for surfing will be very physically active, I will not say mentally, but yes, physically active, very can-do kind of a person, while yacht person is more of a leisure person, and both of these are on the, sea, but the client here is different, Now, last is psychological factors. Psychological factors we will continue in the next lecture. So, at the end of this lecture, I have provided you with a list of 5 books. You can refer to either of these books or any book of your choice to get further information. Thank you.